Do you like my jacket?
Hey everyone, let's talk about AI today. Yesterday Nvidia announced their new big project which will change the future as we know in the way we couldn't even imagine, or at least it is aiming to do so.
Today we're announcing a very big thing. We're announcing Nvidia Cosmos, a world foundation model that is designed, that was created to understand the physical world.
So let's talk about the project Cosmos, which is an open source world foundation model developed by Nvidia that generates synthetic data for training AI systems in robotics and autonomous applications. It comprises two main model types: diffusion models for efficient video generation and autoregressive models for precise frame prediction. Trained on 20 million hours of video using 10,000 Nvidia H100 GPUs, Cosmos offers text-to-video and text-plus-video-to-video generation models. Based on Nvidia's statement, these models included in the platform consistently outperform baseline in 3D consistency and physical alignment benchmark, which makes them kind of ideal for any sort of synthetic data generation. And you may ask, why is it so important? Well, because that synthetic data will be used to train new AI models that will interact with the physical world, similar to what Tesla does with FSD and what they develop in-house for Optimus robots.
The next frontier of AI is physical AI. Model performance is directly related to data availability, but physical world data is costly to capture, curate, and label. Nvidia Cosmos is a world foundation model development platform to advance physical AI. It includes auto-regressive world foundation models, diffusion-based world foundation models, advanced tokenizers, and an Nvidia CUDA, an AI-accelerated data pipeline. Cosmos models ingest text, image, or video prompts and generate virtual world states as videos. Cosmos generations prioritize the unique requirements of AV and robotics use cases, like real-world environments, lighting, and object permanence. Developers use Nvidia Omniverse to build physics-based, geospatially accurate scenarios, then output Omniverse renders into Cosmos, which generates photoreal, physically based synthetic data. Whether diverse objects or environments, conditions like weather or time of day, or edge case scenarios. Developers use Cosmos to generate worlds for reinforcement learning AI feedback to improve policy models, or to test and validate model performance, even across multi-sensor views. Cosmos can generate tokens in real time, bringing the power of foresight and multiverse simulation to AI models, generating every possible future to help the model select the right path. Working with the world's developer ecosystem, Nvidia is helping advance the next wave of physical AI.
So all of that caused many discussions about whether this new project will compete directly with Tesla, as Tesla is essentially doing pretty much the same thing by training their models to understand the real world, such as FSD and its variations that is being developed specifically for Optimus, which is pretty much the same but different in details and nuances. And people also are considering how this will correlate with Tesla's technology. And I saw this interesting post on X by Sawyer Merritt, and Elon responded confirming that it's true. And while I'm agreeing with most of that, I'll add some of my own analysis to that will add another layer of what is going on, and it also might be helpful. As Nvidia states, the project Cosmos aims to address the lack of real-world video self-driving data among legacy automakers, which is logical move, but questionable. I'll talk about it a little bit later. The main point of Sawyer's post was that while it is incredible, the synthetic data generated by Cosmos, although it's impressive, cannot fully replace the value of real-world video driving data collected by companies like Tesla. Tesla has a huge advantage in gathering real-world driving data, with 7.1 million vehicles driving over 75 billion miles each year. Each car has multiple cameras, totaling up to more than 56 million cameras capturing driving scenarios 24/7 every day. This huge amount of data from billions of miles driven with FSD keeps growing, giving Tesla an incomparable resource for training and improving their self-driving AI systems. So Tesla is unbeatable and invincible right now, isn't it? Let's think about it. I agree with the standpoint that real-world data is more necessary and usable for FSD-like technologies. However, I also think it makes sense to discuss the areas where it's applicable and it's going to be incredibly usable.
Instead of a three-body problem, we have a three-computer solution. And so it's the Nvidia of robotics.
While Project Cosmos can certainly be applied to self-driving cars, its scope is much wider. It doesn't mean that Tesla got targeted or something like that, but basically everything got targeted. The project aims to help AI systems understand and interact with the real world in general, focusing on many things such as robotics, smart home devices, automated delivery services, and other kind of automation. This means that Cosmos could potentially be used not only for the automotive industry alone, but also various other sectors that involve AI interacting with the real world, which is an incredibly big sector of economics in the nearest future. When it comes to legacy automakers, it's a bit more complicated. These companies have smaller market caps compared to Tesla per se, which translates to fewer resources available for R&D, which makes it much harder and slower for them to implement something like this into their upcoming cars, their manufacturing processes, integrating new hardware and developing software architectures, which by itself is an incredibly tough part to solve in terms of manufacturing. And these are all time-consuming and expensive tasks. They can design cars with UI that doesn't look like an old Winamp skin. Seriously, come on. But then why is synthetic data such a big deal? Well, consider synthetic data as an entry point for companies that want to develop full self-driving and real-world AI systems and teach them how to interact and navigate the real world without partnering with companies such as Tesla or Waze or even Com.ai, something like that. While synthetic data is incredibly important, it is not yet a competitive data stack. Think of it like when you start learning to draw. You begin with basic shapes like spheres, cones, and other simple forms that you need to master first before you start drawing humans and landscapes. This is a very simplified example, but the same idea applies to more complex AI systems. Real-world data is more expensive, but it is more important because it has more nuances and details and consistency than anything currently generated. But this could change in the future because we don't know how good the future generative AIs will be. And Project Cosmos aims to revolutionize how AI systems interact with the real physical world, extending it far beyond just self-driving cars. As I said, I'm pretty skeptical about how legacy automakers will integrate this technology into their production processes, because it just never happens. The Ford CEO recently mentioned that they use over 100 different parts from different sources that need to be connected within the vehicle to make everything work. And it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous compared to Tesla, which produces most of its components in-house.
We farmed out all the modules that control the vehicles to our suppliers because we could bid them against each other. So Bosch would do the body control module, someone else would do the seat control module, someone else would do the engine control module.
Right.
And we'd have about 150 of these modules of semiconductors all through the car. The problem is the software are all written by 150 different companies. and they don't talk to each other.
On the other hand, I believe this will lead to exponential growth in robotic startups and companies that will use synthetic data to train their neural networks for real-world navigation, which is cool. We will see more and more robots among us in the near future, which is really mind-blowing in my opinion. In short, this is aiming to be a disruptive technology, but Tesla still will not see any significant competition in the next 3 to 5 years, and this is very conservative. It might be much more. But Project Cosmos could narrow the gap between Tesla, which leads in the physical AI world, and others that currently have little to nothing to offer. With Project Cosmos, competitors might get closer to Tesla, and if they scale their products up to Tesla level, they could eventually catch up. However, I would say this will take at least 5 to 10 years, mainly because the amount of real-world data Tesla gathers daily is incredible and it's increasing, and others don't have anything comparable. Achieving this for legacy manufacturers is almost impossible. On the other hand, we don't know how generative AI will evolve and improve in the next 5 to 10 years, which can change completely the rules of the game on the table, and synthetic data might become as useful as the real-world data. But who knows? As of now, it's a good entry point that hasn't existed before, and it's incredible for many companies. This is a good thing, and it will improve the future for many people, and I'm honestly really excited about it. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoyed this format. If you do, or you probably don't, let me know in the comments down below. And as usual, thank you for your time.